All right, welcome back. I am excited about our last conversation guest today. And sitting to my left is Cat. And Cat is a recent graduate of our new life program here at Denver Rescue Mission. And I've had the opportunity just to hear his story a couple of times. He spoke at one of our donor events earlier this summer, and it was so impactful to hear that. So, Cat, welcome. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for inviting me and having me.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Well, it's our honor, man.
Thank
It
you.
really is. So I would love to just let you share a bit about your story. How did you enter into homelessness? How did you find yourself at Denver Rescue Mission?
All right. I don't know if we have enough time for this, but
We have 20 minutes.
I'll do what I can. So originally, I'm from outside of Philadelphia, the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton. I had suffered from addiction most of my adult life, IV opiate drug use, and I had bouts of sobriety throughout that time, but I ended up living out of my truck, which got impounded, and then I was staying on a friend's couch in an efficiency apartment, and then that all went away, and I ended up in a storage room in the basement of an apartment. No bathroom, no facilities, none of that. 5.5 cinder blocks wide by about 15 long.
Wow.
And I hit a point where I was praying to a God that I didn't believe in at the time to let me die on a daily basis.
Wow.
Finally, I hit a point of absolute hopelessness and knew something had to change. I had family here in Denver. I decided to get on a bus and come out here. Didn't work out exactly how I thought it was going to. And I ended up feeling like I was going to hurt myself. Tried to check into a hospital on a psychiatric hold. And this is where I first encountered stigma. Because the doctor told me that I wasn't suicidal. I was just a homeless drug addict looking for a warm place to stay.
That's what he said.
She.
Yeah.
And they let me stay the night, kicked me out in the morning, and I was ready to take my life at that point in time. I walked down Broad. I remember saying, this is the worst mistake I ever made. At least back east, I would have died inside.
Wow.
And then God intervened in my life by the way of my brother texting me and saying, the hospital just said they threw you out. Do me a favor and go down to the free clinic downtown on Stout Street. And I didn't know. I'm not from here. I've been here 3 days at this point in time. So I have to make a decision. At that point in time, I'm looking at my phone because I had already made the decision I was going to take my life. I look from my phone and look up at the street corner, and I'm on Stout and Broad. And I remember looking up and going, okay, I get it, God. Like, it's not my time.
Yeah.
And I made the decision then, went to Stout Street, and from there, I heard about Jesus Saves, the Lawrence Street shelter.
Yeah.
And I knew that because in Allentown, there's an Allentown rescue mission. Same cross outside, neon lights. So I knew that, all right, it's cold, it's March. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be outside. So I went there, and that journey was eventful. Ended up going to the 48th Street shelter. Mm-hmm. And that's where I ran into Chaplain Josh, who I used to go to his Bible study. And he started telling me, maybe you should look into this new life program.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere for 9 to 12 months. I go, be happy, I'm coming to your Bible study.
Right.
And then looking for housing, they told me, we'll put you on the list, but it's going to be at least 12 months. So I started hearing Chaplain Josh. 9 to 12, I'm like, well, okay.
The math works.
The math works. And like I said, I didn't come here with the best intentions. It was like, this is a place that I can stay, right?
Yeah.
And then Chaplain Mark, in one of the town halls, was saying how lucky we were because some of the programs that are offered here cost X amount of dollars a month, right? I forget what the number was, but something clicked, and I said, I want that. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But you have a spare tire in your car for a reason, right?
Yeah.
You hope you never need it.
That's right.
But it's there in case you do. So it was tools for the toolbox. And it's still amazing to me. Like, I look over at the mountains, and I'm like, I'm in Denver. Like, it's still, because I've only been here September 3rd. It was 18 months in the state of Colorado, right? That I walked off that bus. I weighed over 300 pounds walking with a cane.
Really?
And in that amount of time, and I always point out to people coming to this program, you guys don't promise a new life, but you will put every opportunity for one in front of the person. And it was up to me to be willing enough to pick up those opportunities and run with them, right? And today, I'm a peer support specialist intern with Advocates for Recovery Colorado, which
Wow.
is amazing to me. It's an amazing organization. They come here and do classes twice a week. And I'm the housing manager for Untethered Recovery. So I went from being unhoused
Yeah.
to being a housing manager,
Yeah.
like in a year and a half.
Wow. That's just like God, right?
Yeah.
It's just a God story.
And like this, it's from my truth, be free, right? Free
Yeah.
people, free people. So
Yeah.
that's why I went into peer support. That's why I'm this housing manager, because I want to do I'm only here because someone helped me, right?
Yeah.
Denver Rescue Mission showed up when I needed them. The Stout Street Free Clinic showed up when I needed them to. AFRC showed up in peer support when I needed them to.
Yeah.
So I feel like I owe a debt to repay and pay it forward, and to do whatever I can to help people get out of being unhoused, addiction, mental health problems,
Yeah.
because I've been through all of those in my life. And not that they're behind me, I'm still working on it.
Yeah. Right. Of course.
Being unhoused is behind me,
Right.
and being addicted is behind me. But, I still struggle in a lot of areas, and that's why I built the tools for that toolbox in the program here that has carried me forward. And I've created a life that wasn't even a speck on the horizon a little over a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I couldn't dream of it because it didn't exist. I was at a point of absolute hopelessness.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me what this program did for me, giving me time and space to grow and become who I could be without stigma, without the judgment, without the condemnation. I was seen as an individual. I was seen as an individual with individual needs.
Right.
This isn't a cookie cutter program. Like, they took time to figure out what my path was and help me achieve those goals.
Yeah. So, when did it click for you? When did all of a sudden you start discovering that hope and start thinking, my life can be different?
Well, it was some point, like I said, when Mark shared that,
Yeah.
that clicked something, right?
Okay.
And that moment on that street corner, that in hindsight is a pivotal moment,
Yeah.
right? That was like that God moment. That was when people talk about feeling the Holy Spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And until I returned to faith, I used to laugh about whatever, you know what I mean? You're crazy.
Yeah.
But that was that moment. Like, there's no other explanation for that happening at that point in time, right where I was at,
Right.
when I was ready to end it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
happenstance. It's
Yeah.
not chance.
Yeah.
There was a plan that I just couldn't see.
Yeah.
And I think at some point along the way, because I had taken, because of people that partner with DRM, St. Francis and Back on My Feet were integral in this. They helped fund me to take my certified addictions technician courses.
Wow.
And I completed all those courses. I still haven't taken the jurisprudence or the national exam yet.
Yeah.
But like, that was like when I started taking the tests online, and I was in upper 90s on every test. And like, I was so nervous. Like, can I do, real quick to disqualify myself.
Okay.
And all of a sudden I started succeeding. And these small success, like Back on My Feet, like I said, I was overweight, walking with a cane.
Yeah.
I started with them and had a 20-minute timed mile. Within 6 months, I had it down to a 10-minute and 19
Wow.
time mile, because like I just became willing to do whatever it took, because
Yeah.
I didn't want to go back and feel the pain
Yeah.
that I felt.
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel that hopelessness ever again. Like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
wish it on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
Like, the dread of not having a tomorrow.
Yeah.
It didn't exist.
Yeah.
Every day it was like Groundhog's Day. I woke up, did the same thing, to go get money, to go get drugs, to
Yeah.
go to sleep, to wake up, to go. And that was it. And that was where I felt I was. I never thought I'd ever be a participant in life again. Like, society was never going to let me be a part of it again.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've talked a couple of times about the opportunities, whether it was DRM or God having a call in your life, and then the idea that, but then we have to say yes to those opportunities. So here's my question. there are people that don't say yes to those opportunities. And why do you think that is? What do you think the difference is between somebody that says yes and somebody that doesn't?
I can't talk for other people. I just know for me, the pain became great enough.
Yeah.
The pain of going back was greater than the pain of going forward. Because a lot of times in my life when I had sustained recovery for multiple years, when things started going wrong, because I never did any of the internal work.
Yeah.
I never worked on me. I just got rid of the drugs and alcohol. The drugs and alcohol are a symptom
That's right.
of underlying things. So I would return to the comfortable pain because addiction, I knew the pain that I was getting.
Yeah.
I knew what to expect from it.
Right.
Moving forward in faith or recovery, it's faith for a reason. We don't exactly know.
Right.
And sometimes doing that work is painful, right? Dealing with and here's a big move for me, right? I had a therapist and she told me, what have you been diagnosed with? And I said, opiate use disorder. She goes, you were misdiagnosed. You have childhood trauma, PTSD, which led to depression, which led to your opiate use disorder.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with all those underlying issues. The drugs were just a symptom of everything I was trying to cover up. But dealing with the PTSD, the childhood trauma, the depression, all that stuff, it wasn't easy.
No, that's hard work.
And it's painful. Like you dig
is.
up some stuff that you were trying to avoid.
Yep.
And let me tell you, if I would have dealt with it back then, it might not have been as painful, but it grows and it gets more and more intense. So the unknown pain of getting through it and not knowing if it's going to feel better on the other side is sometimes daunting to where it was easier to go back to the pain that I knew and the uncomfortability that I knew, because you can get comfortable in some really bad situations because you get numb to it.
Yeah.
You build up a scar tissue to the life of addiction and the life of being unhoused and the mental health issues.
Yeah. And that's where, to your point, that's where the step of faith, right? Because you don't know how you're going to come through this. You don't exactly know the pain, but you know there's going to be some. But then you take that one step forward in faith, and then you take the next step and the step after that. And then you end up no longer unhoused, doing a 10-minute mile, not 300 pounds, not walking with a cane, and working. And I'd love to hear more about your work at Untethered.
Untethered, it's a PHP program. So we have Untethered's based in Arvada, and so is the house that I'm running at this point.
Okay.
We have 10 participants, and it's kind of like the New Life program, except for they live at the house, and then every morning they get picked up. They go to the office to do their IOP classes. Okay. They do different forms of trauma therapy. So it's a very similar model, just separated instead of everything happening in one place.
Under one roof, right.
So I get to spend a majority of my time with them outside of the office and get a different view of them. But I have a 2-hour facilitation that I do, which is amazing to me that I get to impart something that I've learned.
Yeah.
And I got to create a curriculum. It's like a 10-week curriculum that I came up with as part of the internship with AFRC.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I developed, and then I got a live group to do it with. You know what I mean? Because I practiced it with some other people. It just doesn't feel the same.
Right.
I referred it to the same when I came and spoke.
Yeah.
I didn't prepare. It's just something about getting in the ring. It's sparring versus getting in the ring. When there's an audience, something clicks, and and it feels, everything kind of goes the right way.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Same thing. I feel like sometimes you can over prepare, and then you're not allowing just the truth to speak, right, to God to speak through you. In some ways.
What did Jesus tell the apostles, right? Don't fear what to say.
Yeah.
For the Holy Spirit will speak through you.
That's right.
And I find that so often in my journey. I was just telling somebody a story. When I was doing a facilitation and I was telling part of my story, I got to a part about my motorcycle accident. And one of the participants in the room, she started crying a little bit. She got up and left.
Yeah.
And then when I finished telling my story, I walked out of the room and my best friend was there. And I said, why did I leave the part out about my dad? And my dad passing. It's a very big part of my story, right?
Oh, wow.
And somehow I thought I forgot it. Like, why didn't I put that in?
Yeah.
And then when I pulled her aside and talked to her, she started crying about the motorcycle accident. It was coming up on a year anniversary of her father passing away in a
Oh,
motorcycle
wow.
accident. So God
Yeah.
kind of edited that part of my
Yeah.
story
Yeah.
because I'm not here to re-traumatize or traumatize people.
right.
Like,
That's
I'm
right.
here to carry a message of hope,
Yeah.
of experience, of what I've gone through and where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. And you do it well, man.
I
You
appreciate that.
share that
Thank
well.
you.
So if somebody is watching this or will watch it later and maybe they're in addiction, maybe they are or not homeless, or maybe they have a loved one that's on the streets and addicted, and they're looking for hope, what would you tell them?
We do recover. Like, miracles happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm living proof that miracles happen every day. And I'm working right now on a talk I want to do with people outside of recovery and addiction and mental health that have zero to limited knowledge, all about stigma and how that
Yeah.
affects our journey.
Yeah.
And not just because it kept me from looking for treatment for a long time. And then the stigma of society pushed me back into addiction because
Yeah.
I couldn't get a job. I wasn't accepted into this
Right.
community or that one. So I started feeling like, why bother? Just like the doctor at the hospital. I was looking for help. And I'm not saying that unhoused, addicted people don't go there looking for a warm place to stay.
Right.
It probably
Yeah, it
happens.
probably
and the
does.
stigma is that she feels every person suffering
Yes.
is in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So we do recover. And if all you do is focus on the negatives and say, look at all these people in the streets, look at all these people that keep going and getting high, that's all you're going to see.
Right.
If you're in the
Right.
middle of the ocean surrounded by water and all you see is water, it's easy to start believing land no longer exists. Right?
Yeah. You're right.
So
Yeah, I've never thought about that.
focus
but yeah.
on the good. Focus
Yeah.
on the people that do succeed and help them move forward. I was just facilitating a class yesterday. What's the best way we can start to mute stigma a little bit? Because that's to recover,
Yeah.
to get better,
Yeah.
to get off the street,
Yeah.
and show people, look, it's possible. And we're sowing seeds that I may never reap the fruit from. But
Yes.
hopefully the
Yes.
next generation of
Yep.
people that need that help can benefit from the seeds that I sown.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the stigma's a little less for the next group of people coming through.
Yeah.
Because me and my buddy always joke that our job as peer supports is to work ourselves out of a job.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I feel that same way about the work that DRM does, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, if we get to a point where there's no need for DRM, we will have done our job.
Yeah.
Right.
And God willing, right?
Yeah,
One day.
exactly.
One day.
Yeah, one day.
Like, and that's why I'm always so eager. Like when you were Steven or somebody asked me to come be a part of something here, like this
Yeah.
was a huge part of my success story,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people along that path that really help, but this is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
So I feel a debt needs to be paid. Like I'm always willing to be a piece of that
Yeah.
to hopefully encourage or help in any way to get more people success.
Yes. Yeah, and to get that help and to share your journey and what worked for you and sharing that hope and that hope that's found in Jesus, but the hope that we don't have to live like we're living right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I tell the participants that if I did it, it's a human thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That means
that's
any
right.
one of us can do it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of only I can recover for me.
Right.
Only you can do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
the willingness. You got to find that willingness to do whatever it takes, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. So what does the future look like for you? What are your hopes and dreams for the future?
I don't know, man. I really don't. Like, I am so focused on today
Yeah.
because that's all we're given and it's all we're promised is right now,
Good
right?
point.
And one of the quotes that I made my quote when I told my counselor here was, I'm not worried about being better than the next man.
Yeah.
I just want to be better than the man I was yesterday.
Yes.
And that's it. And I think I'm doing that. I think every day I strive to be just a little bit better. And forward momentum, no matter how small the steps, as long as you keep moving forward,
Yeah.
that's what's important.
Yeah, it really is, and that's true of every area of life, right? You don't have to be someone experiencing homelessness or experiencing addiction. We're all carrying something, right? We all have something that's causing us pain or that we're carrying in this burden, and what we have to do is to keep getting up, to keep moving forward. And I always I say that when people ask me about my faith, I'm like, well, I'm a follower of Jesus, and I'm doing my best to be a little better today at that than I was yesterday. And I know that I'm going to fall. I know that I'm going to fail. But it's not about whether or not I fall or fail. It's about the fact that I get up and I'm a little bit better follower tomorrow than I was today. Right?
Here's what I started looking at, right? There's that adage that says it's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get back up.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's not where it ends. What are you going to do once you get back up?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So like for me, every Sunday I'm at my church. I volunteer all day because that's part of what fills my cup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do whatever I can. If somebody comes to me looking for support in trying to find facilities to help them no longer be unhoused or to help them get into treatment, like I'm immediately there. It's what are you going to do with that time once you get up?
Yeah.
You can't just get up and just keep doing what you were doing.
Yeah, and over and over again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, my faith, that journey has been integral in my recovery. That was one of the most important things to me. That's what carried me through.
Yeah.
And that was the one thing missing every other time that I was in recovery. Like I grew up in one denomination that traumatized me a bit to the point where I had issues with God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I had resentments, I had issues. And then this time, it was time. Like something happened, like I said, on that corner. Going back to Allentown, I was panhandling on the side of a road, right?
Wow.
And a gentleman pulled over in a Porsche Cayenne. And I'm like, oh, he's going to have something negative to say. Because most people generally did.
Right.
This is a gentleman who went by the name Philly Ron. He walked up and just said, can I pray with you?
Really?
And at that point, I said, sure, because you're probably going to give me some money, right? In my head.
Yeah. You're
And
thinking,
then-
okay, if that's how I get money.
And then, like, it just kept happening. But he did it without judgment, without stigma.
Yeah.
And he saw potential, I think. And nobody knew that he was helping me and my buddy out, giving us money, because that's not what you do as a Christian. You don't do it for the credit. We've already been given the gift.
Yeah.
We've received the gift ahead of time.
Right.
And it turns out, like, what is my scripture? It's on my ring. Be strong, be courageous, right? Joshua 1:9. I saw that on a video, and I really like that scripture. I'm going to write that down because Ron will like that.
Yeah.
I walk up to him one day. I go, hey, Ron, have you heard Joshua 1:9?
I love this story. Keep going.
And he gives me like a little, tell me. And I said, yeah, be strong, be courageous. Do not be fearful. Do not be dismayed.
Yeah.
For the Lord thy God is with you always. He goes, I think I've heard it before. And he rolled his
Once or
sleeve
twice.
up.
Yeah.
And it was tattooed on his forearm.
That's so cool.
So again,
that is so cool.
in hindsight, I can see the Holy Spirit was nudging me in certain directions, right?
Absolutely.
And some people, it's just coincidence. Like
That's
I
not
know
coincidence.
in my heart what it is. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
my life was guided, and there was more I needed to do in my life. And I think I'm doing it. I think I'm doing my
you are.
best to achieve that. You know, it's not my plan. I'm just trying to follow it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and that's what you're doing, right? I mean, you are doing that. You're making a huge difference, and and that's one of the goals that I had for this conversation on a bench is you've talked a lot about stigma, and it's that somebody that may watch this now or in the future that does have that, right? They judge the person that's experiencing homelessness that they see on a corner. They are a part of that stigma, that they would encounter stories and people like you, and they would be forced to rethink what they believe to be true, rethink the faith in God, right? There might be somebody out there right now who they're giving up on God because they think God has given up on them. And they might think, God's doing things to them. And then they hear your story and about how God just step after step after step didn't do any coincidences. Step after step, he was leading you and giving you these opportunities. Yeah. And then you took them, and now you're leading this home at Untethered.
That's what I mean.
Nobody back
Unhoused
in
to a
Allentown
housing
would have thought
manager.
that was going to happen.
No. And like that's what I tell people, right? When things come up, like we were talking about naloxone.
Yeah.
And somebody goes, that just makes it easier for them to get high. That just makes it easier for people to go out and use. And I'm like, do you drive more unsafely because you wear a seatbelt?
That's right.
It's harm reduction.
It
First
is.
off, if I'm overdosing, I can't use it anyway.
Right.
That Narcan is there so I don't have to watch somebody die.
Right.
And if you would have met me a couple years ago,
Yeah.
you would think differently about me than you do today. So I was able to be redeemed. I am redeemable,
Yeah.
given time and space.
Yeah, that's
Now,
right.
I'm not delusional and think that every single person that encounters recovery is going to succeed.
Right.
But I know 100% of the people that don't get the opportunity are going to fail.
That's right.
So it's about reducing that stigma, lowering bars to entry, getting more people in. Because I wasn't on the street because I was lazy, didn't want to work. I worked
No.
harder at my
Yeah, you were working.
addiction and supporting myself on the street than I ever did in real life.
Right.
There's a lot of people that are suffering from mental health, addiction, and addiction's generally covering up some sort of PTSD trauma, something in their past, right?
Yeah.
They're not there. I mean, I've met a handful of people that just enjoy not being tied down to things, but that's the rarity.
Very rare.
Most people
Yeah.
are struggling with something,
Right.
and I never wanted a handout.
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah.
a hand up.
Right.
I wanted somebody just to support me and help me. And that's what I found here
Yeah.
when I went to Stout Street, when I came to DRM.
Yeah.
I wasn't given anything. It was, here, how can I support you and help you on this journey?
Yeah.
And then I found that after I left here with other people supporting me along the way, and that's why it's so important to try to deal with the stigma of society puts on addiction and on the unhoused
Absolutely.
and mental health, because that time is so important when we walk out of this door onto that next step of the journey. If we don't feel society is at least on our side a little bit, and well, not pushing us backwards anyway.
That's right. That's right.
It gives us a reason to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
I think it was Nietzsche that said, "A man with a why to live can bear almost anyhow."
Wow.
So when you take away their whys,
Yeah.
when it's a parent who got back into recovery and is participating in their child's life, and they try to be part of the PTA and you exclude them because of their past
right.
decisions, when they try to come to your church and you exclude them because of their past
Yeah.
decisions, they try to come to you for employment and you exclude them, they start thinking, why bother?
Yeah.
Because society's not going to let me back in.
That's right.
And it's easier to go back to that comfortable pain of the past
Yeah.
than it is to deal with rejection over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, our time is up. It went really fast. I told you it was going to go fast. But
I'm not
Kat,
letting you go. I'm going to keep you here for another 24.
Look, man, there's a nap in my near future. It's been a long 24 hours, but just really grateful for you. Obviously, I'm grateful whenever you say yes and tell the story, but I'm just so grateful for what God has done in your life and what He's going to continue to do for your life and through you. And here's what I know. I know God is not done with you yet, brother. So, and I'm going to be excited to see where that leads and what that does. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we have one more video, and then we're going to come back in just a few minutes, and we're going to try to wrap up this entire 24-hour conversation on a bench. And please join us for that, because I also want to say thank you to some really amazing people that made this happen. So we'll roll a video now, and then we'll be right back.